So I'm going to show you a very quick tutorial on how to make your pattern pieces suitable for a scallop edge lace like this. Firstly, I just want to talk about this lace because then that will help us when we do the pattern. So this is the scallop edge here, and these are the scallops, and we call this the peak of the scallop, which is the top part. And then we call this part here the valley of the scallop, which is the bottom part. Now this is really important to know for when we make the patterns suitable for lace. So I've got a bra pattern here, which is my daisy plunge bra pattern, which is only exclusively available on my sewing course. And I'm going to make the front cradle. So this is the front cradle, is what we call it, the center front of the bra here, and then this is the side seam. So I'm going to make the bottom edge here suitable for scallop edge lace like this. So for start, the cradle requires a rigid or woven fabric. So this does happen to be a rigid lace, which means that it doesn't have elastine in. If it was a stretch lace, we could still work with that as well, because we would use a material called a stabilizer behind it. So we would rigidize it effectively. And we would be using that behind this lace anyway, because although this isn't a stretch lace, because of the way it's made, it does have a bit of give. This isn't actually stretch, it's called give. So it's called a mechanical give, and the front cradles of bras need to be completely rigid, or for this style anyway. So I'm going to get my front cradle here, and I'm just going to copy these patterns off. Okay, so I have copied that off and I have joined the two pattern pieces together because I don't want a split in the lace here. I'm just going to be doing a seam in the centre front here. So we need to make the edge straight. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to draw a line with my ruler to make that straight. And then I need to decide what is my lace placement. So you need to decide the placement of the scallop. So whether you want a big scallop at the centre front, or whether you want two scallops like that. The thing is about the centre front, it's the first place you look. So it's usually what we call the priority point. So I'm going to explain that in a minute as well when we put it on the pattern. So I am going to have it so that the peak of the scallop is sitting right in the centre front. So that's what I want it to look like. And then there'll be the other side going down like this. There's obviously one side of the bra. So all I need to do now is just put that on the pattern. So if I want the peak of scallop this side, I'm going to create either a circle or a notch, and so I'm going to put PP, which is priority point, and I'm going to put peak of scallop. So this here tells me that when I cut my lace out, the peak there needs to sit right on the edge there. And then the other side you want to swivel until you get the edge of the lace on the edge of the pattern piece. So I'm going to swivel down. So this is where it would cut, because the edge of the lace is coming just here. I'm not including this is called an eyelash lace, and I'm not including that, so I'm doing the start here. So when I cut it out, this is what it will look like. So you don't put a seam allowance on the scallop lace edge, but then obviously you do add the seam allowances to the rest, like it was originally. So, and I also will add a seam allowance to the centre front, because I'm going to have two sides of the lace joining. So I would add a 6mm seam allowance here, like that. There we go. So you've got a new seam allowance that you have in the centre front here. So the main thing is, when you are making patterns for a scallop edge lace, it needs to be straight. And this can be a little bit tricky with some certain patterns. This one was fairly easy, as it was fairly straight anyway. So that's what you need. And then you also need to identify the priority point and where you want the scallop to sit. So I'm going to end the tutorial there, and I really hope this tutorial has been inspiring for you.